All right, it won't be easy under Albanese. It was the Liberal catch cry throughout the election campaign. Effective in its simplicity, but ultimately nowhere near enough to win a fourth term. But I doubt anyone, not least Prime Minister Albanese and his Treasurer Jim Chalmers, could have predicted things could get so bad so quickly. Now, to be clear, Albanese has not been in government for 5 years or 5 days, certainly not in the last 9 years. These are not problems of his making, but they're structural, they're global. He needs to address them. And of course, this is particularly the case with energy, as household bills are about to soar. Joining me now from Canberra is Andrew McKellar, Chief Executive Officer of the Australian Chamber of Commerce. Andrew, thank you for your time. Australia's bracing for this power price shock to hit, as energy retailers have passed on these wholesale price rises. What do you see as the best way for the Albanese government to address this?
Well, good evening, Chris. Look, it's going to be a huge challenge. As you say, the government has inherited this challenge, but it will take a plan, a consensus plan. And I think here, really, from a business standpoint, we do want to see certainty. I mean, business is staring down the barrel of increases, particularly small business, staring down the barrel of increases of 13.5%. Rises in electricity prices above inflation in the next 12 months. If we're going to counter that, if we're going to have a plan to make electricity prices more affordable, it's going to take a couple of things. It's going to take very significant investment in new, particularly renewable energy generation capacity, and it's going to take more investment in the network to modernise that infrastructure. Renewables do offer a pathway to lower energy prices, but we've got to plug them into the national grid. We've got to invest in that capacity and make sure that we can take advantage of those emerging technology and opportunities.
But Andrew, as you know, the grid itself is grossly inferior and unable to take the kinds of renewable power that they get off rooftops, that they get out of wind turbines. So this can't be fixed in a year. This can't be fixed even in 2 years.
Well, we've got to start on it immediately. Obviously, look, we can't put aside the structure that we have in place, but it is going to take renewed investment. There's no way around that, and those decisions have got to be taken very quickly. They do have the support of business. We have a pathway to get to net zero emissions by 2050. The incoming government, has put forward an ambitious plan, but I think a realistic plan, and business is supportive to give that plan a go. Ultimately, that's the only way that we are going to get lower energy costs, affordable, secure and reliable supply of energy. Of course, it's not something that can be solved in just 1 to 2 years, but we've got to start on it now. And it really will take a strong consensus across the parliament to get this through.
So we've got to get used to not just paying a hell of a lot more for power, and you're suggesting a 13% increase above the inflation rate, which may get to 7%, may get to 9%. So we've got to also put up with the fact that our cost of living is going to be out of control within the next 6 months.
Well, there's severe pressure there. There's no immediate solution to that. We've seen that coal prices and gas prices internationally have gone up by between 200 and 300% since the start of the year, and that's feeding back into the spot prices, the base prices that are being paid in the system here. It's pushing up costs. Now, that's part of the international context. We have to have a plan for the future. We have to start on it now. Renewables are a big part of that. We are seeing that technology is advancing. Business is right behind that pathway. And that is the only way that we're going to get that affordable and reliable supply of energy for the future.
Andrew McKellar, thank you very much for your time.